NATHIL's vision is to get everyone on board in simple terms for improving access and quality of healthcare. So it's something like provide a credible and unified voice, which was not really existing in healthcare before NATHIL. So whatever activities we do, whatever meetings or conferences we do, whatever initiatives we do, we try to see that there is a reference to this vision. Um, and in line with that, I think the key activities of last year, the first one that I'd like to mention is our MOU that we signed with NASSCOM last year. And both NASSCOM and NATHIL felt that IT had, or rather IT has, information technology has a transformational potential in healthcare, which was unutilized. Around the world, there are excellent pockets of excellence, I should say, in healthcare, but in a concerted way, the two industries or sectors have not worked together in any country. So I'm happy to share with you that sometimes some of the MOUs just remain MOU, but you know that, Shahid. But in this case, we wanted to drive it from the top. So we formed between Mr. Chandrasekhar, the president of NASSCOM, and myself, we discussed this, and we decided to form what we call an NNJC, NATHIL NASSCOM Joint Council, which is actually a team of top 5 CEOs from both sides. We have got Shivinder Singh leading from NATHIL side, healthcare sector. We have got Mr. N. Chandrasekharan of TCS, MD and CEO, leading from their side. So you'll be perhaps surprised that we have been able to have good meetings of this strong team, high-level team, and they have delegated it now to their senior team members. We have developed through very extensive workshop the 4 priority areas that we feel we should work on to sort of get the best out of this initiative. The couple of the areas are, for example, data. Organized data in healthcare is a nightmare. Rather, unavailability is a nightmare. So that's an area we'll work on. Then we talk so much about accessibility and affordability. To many of us, true accessibility in a vast country with complexity like India is only possible in healthcare if we use technology very usefully. And we are the top leader in IT. So IT-enabled accessibility, you can say. And happy to share with you that Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, led by the Secretary himself, has invited NATHIL NASSCOM Joint Council to work with the ministry on areas of common interest. So I think at this moment, that's the highest potential activity that we have engaged ourselves in. Then, as you heard in the morning, organ donation we felt is another area where there was a lot of demand-supply gap. Ideal situation and what it is today, there is a big gap. So NATHIL's advantage is all these top healthcare deliverers and other companies which are willing to work together, share best practices. So organ donation is another area where we have started initiative. We have recently read a few of the breakthroughs that have happened in NCR itself. So that's another area we are focusing on. Then if you see the, Shahid, the 6 mission pillars, if we say, of NATHIL, they are enabling funding, long-term funding, then policy, of course, policy advocacy, working with the policymakers, then skill, infrastructure, best practice sharing amongst this great leadership team, leading organizations that we have got. And last but not least, encouraging innovation is one of our 6 mission statements. So therefore, innovation will always get a high priority. We have started working on it. And we are trying to combine the funding part with innovation. So we are actually working on forming a framework where we build a system to encourage young, if I may use the word, innovators who are otherwise having great ideas but struggling to get the funds. So that's another area, encourage innovation in various areas. One is we work with the government for, let us say, reduce the import content of technology from the current 80% to a much lower figure. I think 15 years back, in similar functions, we had to say the same number, that how much is medical technology imported in terms of import to India? About 80–85%. After 15 years, unchanged. And I think knowing that about 30–40% of any hospital or new healthcare deliverers goes for technology. If we can incentivize local innovation, incentivize local manufacturing and get the cost down, it will have a vast impact on the final cost of delivery which the patients pay. So this is the connectivity, and we are actually from Nat Health extremely pleased with the announcement of the Make in India program therefore, and the Digital India program, and the initiatives that we are doing with NASSCOM actually falls, it is aligned with Digital India and Make in India. Plus, there are 25 plus top global and local technology companies on Nat Health. Many of the CEOs are today at this moment present in the meeting event we have got, and I think they're all willing to work together with the government on Make in India program in a concerted way. So I think that's another initiative which will get a lot of priority in the next in 2015. Shahid, you are asking me this very interesting question on a day when in a few hours Nat Health and IMA are going to sign an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, agreeing to work on a very critical element in healthcare, which is ethics in healthcare. As you all from media have very well covered the need for more ethical approach in healthcare, whether it is transparency in sharing data of the patients or in creating a really safe environment for the patients, or not encouraging anything which is like untoward expenses, So all these areas of ethics in healthcare, IMA and Nat Health have decided to work together and and develop jointly a code of ethics which we will be coming out with, I should say, in a few weeks' time. The work is in progress. So I think in the history of Indian healthcare, this is the first time Indian Medical Association, which as you say is the biggest association of grassroots doctors around the country, and a federation of top providers in healthcare, technology, insurance, which Nat Health is, they have committed to work together. So this is collaboration, and I think the patients will be benefited by this. This is a very important, your experience in healthcare shows with this very appropriate question. Part of in fact, we are going to sign an MOU, and then the Nat Health leadership, whom you are seeing in this meeting, the top leaders of Indian healthcare, they are going to give a pledge of a 10-point declaration covering the various essential points regarding ethics in Indian healthcare, and they are going to give commitment on behalf of their organizations that they are going to ensure that those 10 bullet points declarations are followed. And in fact, that will be integrated in the code of ethics that IMA and Nat Health is jointly coming out. And part of that is the communication part that you are saying, that sharing information with the patient is a need area obviously in this country, and I think we all suffer from that. So this disconnect that you're talking about is actually an age-old communication gap where perhaps there is hesitation in sharing for various reasons, which is completely different from many of the developed Western countries. So India, which is progressing so well in healthcare, why shouldn't we align with the good habits that the developed economies have already formed many years back? So certainly that is part of the commitment that our Nat Health leaders are going to make. It's not going to be an easy task because you cannot change culture overnight. It's a matter of culture, it's a matter of value, but we are going to make a serious effort. Our leaders, this MOU represents the commitment of Nat Health leaders. And I think communication, removing this disconnect is an important part of that. I can give you a very short answer to that. Our family and I always question. It's a personal example I'm giving to express that I think many of us believe that, like in any other sector, I'll give you a little bit of, I'll use a word which is not always the best word, but there is a consumer-supplier relationship, a hospital and when a patient goes. If in every sector, someone who is a supplier has the obligation to answer the consumer, then why not in healthcare? I think, of course, the balance has to be maintained, you know, like sometimes in the name of some, what shall I say, activism, if you overdo, I don't want to mention some of the things that come to my mind, but we all know that in the name of activism, sometimes we can tend to overdo things. So a balanced professional approach can be taken with, I think, government also on board, where, yeah, I think patients have the right to ask doctors, why am I going to a CT scanner, or why are you sending me for a...
How it will impact my health.
How it will impact my health, exactly.
That's the reason. It's not that you
Absolutely,
challenge the doctor.
absolutely, absolutely. That's the balanced approach that I talked about. I'll give you one more sort of corollary to that. If you see the Arogya Bharat's one of the main focus areas, when we are talking about the next decade in healthcare, one important thing is we are all tuned in Indian healthcare, India, with the curative care. Healthcare means some koi problem aaya and I have to take some medicine. Immediately in our mind doesn't come the fact that if you prevent yourself from falling sick, the cost is much less. So next one decade, we are also suggesting to the government to give much more focus on education and awareness creating, that focusing on preventive and wellness, taking the right step, will actually get the, the diseases down. So I personally foresee, like many other leaders, that one of the radical transformation that will happen in Indian healthcare is transformation from treatment-based or cure-based healthcare to preventive healthcare. And it will mean that all the healthcare leaders whom you see, they have to adapt themselves and change their models as the time progresses. I think this, you see a number of organizations here who are totally focused on wellness creation, prevention, and we are encouraging them to join NATHIL so we can all work together. I think two of them, one I already mentioned. I personally think there has to be a systematic effort by all concerned, including the government, to educate the masses, including us. Masses doesn't mean only the ones who are not so lucky or fortunate. Masses on the importance of prevention, importance of focusing on wellness to prevent from falling sick. I think that's a radical, it sounds simple, going to be very difficult to implement. Second is the ethics part, which I mentioned. I think there is healthcare, the word care implies this is an unique sector where you have a human being at the end of the so-called supply chain. In an automobile industry, you have a car at the end of the supply chain. Now, you can't equate a healthcare, therefore, so-called industry to an automobile industry or IT industry. You're a human being who is in need of treatment, surrounded by well-wishers, family, friends who are in agony. So even the approach that we need to take, including the communication part that you pointed out, I think there is scope of a lot of improvement. And remember, Shahid, India. There is no one India. There is a lot of Indias. Sitting here in New Delhi, we are in one India. We just go out 10 kilometers from here and go to some urban villages, we'll find another world. So you'll also find that today we are having our big debate where we've invited healthcare stakeholders focusing on primary care. So another point that I want to tell you, I think we are going to go towards integrated care. The demarcation between primary, secondary, tertiary will slowly fade away, and therefore you might have a complete different model where one deliverer can focus on integrated care. And I think that's where the government-private collaboration will come handy, because government has better access to the rural areas, to the tier 1 city, tier 2 city, etc. So I think we'll see a lot of collaboration inevitably happening, and I think we have a new government now, and there is a lot of positive feeling, encouragement, Make in India, Digital India. There is health assurance program of the government. I think that's another area, the paying ability of Indian. I mean, we have 75% of people who are not covered by any insurance, one of the highest in the world. I think this has to change. It's a fun. I hear even government may consider making healthcare as a fundamental right of citizens. I will encourage that. I think we all deserve that. Our citizens deserve that. So these are a few things, Shahid. Thank you.